welcome to the Apter Chat here on OneWrestling.com. It's a pleasure to have you back here with us. And as always, we try and bring on the guests that you want to see, past, present, future, everybody. And we're going back to the past, current, and maybe future with a guy that we all know and love. Most famous, of course, as being one half of the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton, welcome to OneWrestling.com and the Apter Chat.
Wow, Bill, what a great pleasure and to be on your show, to have you on your show tonight. That's easy for you to get out, okay?
It is. And I remember back in the good old Jim Crockett promotions days when I used to be in a TV studio with a lot of the guys, and I interviewed you and Robert so many times, the Rock and Roll Express, on that show that Jim Crockett was good enough to say, hey, you got 15 minutes to talk to whoever you want to. You remember those? The
Yes,
Pro Wrestling Illustrated scouting reports.
yes, Bill. I remember, something about this business, all the great times I never forgot. Some of the bad I did, but, it's always a pleasure to be with you, Bill. You're
Oh,
a
likewise.
great icon in our business, and a
Thank you.
lot of people that's out there that really don't, hadn't been around the business a long time or understand. They don't know what an impact you've made on a lot of guys in our business.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Like I always tell people, I worked with a bunch of great teams at the magazines to put those magazines out, but I was the guy in the field. I was the guy out there in the trenches with you guys.
You sure were.
And it was great people like you and your partner and the Crockett's and Dusty and Gordon Soley and even Ole Anderson, who said, well, Ole, put the damn guy on TV already, will you? So,
Well, he's here and he does a great job.
yes,
A lot of
yes.
interviews. You did some interviews too. A lot of them.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
shows
yeah.
when you were there and
Yes,
got
yes.
that stuff.
I'm one of the few guys that does a an Ole Anderson imitation that whenever I see him, years back, he always says to me, give me some Ole. And I go, why don't you get in the ring, do what the hell you're going to do, leave me the hell alone, goodbye. That was Ole. That was Ole.
So,
He was quite a character. One day I'm going to have you and a bunch of other people on just to tell some good Ole stories. There's a million of them. So one of the reasons I brought you on here, and this has nothing to do with the Rock and Roll Express, I received a press release
yes.
last week, and it was from the National Wrestling Alliance, based out of a local office in Kingsport, Tennessee. And it said, NWA National Wrestling Alliance Hall of Famer Ricky Morton defeated Chase Owens at an NWA Smoky Mountain event in Kingsport, Tennessee on Saturday, January 4th, 2014, to win the National Wrestling Alliance World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Absolutely amazing. Championship, it's one word. Amazing, because, you've been in the wrestling business for a long time, and after a while people kind of just say, well, they're around, they're at indie shows and all that, but they're just going to show up and say hello and shake hands and do what they can in the matches. But man, you won a major title here. Tell us what happened.
Well, you got to understand, I want to thank the opportunity for NWA Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and especially in Kingsport, Tennessee, Bill. I live in the Tri-Cities area that's located here in eastern Tennessee,
Yeah.
at Bristol, Kingsport, and Johnson City. And to be able, matter of fact, I wrestled Chase Owens, and I got to say, Chase Owens was the best in the world. And I had an opportunity to wrestle Chase, but it all began on something else when I was wrestling Rob Conway. But on that given night, understand me, I don't care who it was. I just had it, and understand, I know I'm an older guy, and I know that, my best years are probably behind me. But that night, and understand I'm still very active. Robert and I
Yes,
both,
we know that. We know
and
that.
so I keep myself in good shape. I don't know I'm old until I see a picture of myself. But,
You're
but
looking pretty young.
well, I still do what I do. But that night in Kingsport, Tennessee, and it was just something that. and understand me, when you're out here on the independent circuit, a lot of times you get to know a lot of guys, and they think they know you, and it got to a point in a situation where I was wrestling Chase Owens, and understand me, I trained Chase Owens, but
Oh, I
you know,
didn't know
they
that.
was calling the teacher and the student, but it's not like that. I got my hats off to Chase Owens. He did a lot of things on his own, but you know, when you train and you teach them a lot, but you don't teach them everything that you know. Uh,
You
I
hold
wrestle,
back just a little bit, don't you?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's it's things that you forgot to teach them, really, because
Okay.
they don't understand, the when you step into the ring that, I've been in this situation before. It's not my first rodeo, but I had the opportunity to wrestle him, and that night, I don't care who I stepped in the ring with. I had that mindset that I told you that I was going to beat him, because sometimes people take your kindness for a weakness. Uh,
That's interesting. Yeah.
you
Kindness
know,
for a
they
weakness. I
they
like
know you, and that night, I just had to let them know that I am Ricky Morton, that I gave my whole life to this business. And what you think you know, and there's a lot of people I know in this business that think they know everything, but what it boils down to,
yeah.
think you know everything, is when you're going to make that mistake. And
Yeah.
that night, I beat Chase Owens for the junior NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world. And what a great moment! It reminded me of the first time that Robert and I won the NWA World Tag Team titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So night and
Yeah.
got,
Yeah. I know I was there. I was taking pictures at ringside at most of your great victories.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Now I understand, before we get on to some of the top challengers here, I asked you, I said, could you bring the belt? And you said, not only am I going to bring the belt, I'm going to bring somebody to give it to me right
Yes,
here on the Apter Chat.
understand me. I am a second generation professional wrestler. My dad, look right here. This is my son, Kerry James.
Hey, Kerry James.
Yes, 12 years old. Understand, I started going with my dad. This is what we did for a living. My dad pulled the wrestling ring, he refereed. I was around a lot
The
of some,
Bald Eagle. Yeah.
yes, uh,
Your dad.
some great wrestlers, and I learned from a bunch of them. And don't get me wrong, but the time I got 18 years old and started in this business, I was ahead of a lot of people, because I was raised up in the wrestling business. And this is my son. Introduce him to him. Take your hat off, son. They can see you. I call him Kerry Beaver, but he's my son. He's going to be the third generation. At the age of 12, Bill, it's amazing. I wish a lot of you guys could see him. He's great, and it's like anything else, to keep him to make good decisions, and later on in life, he's still a young kid. That what a great future that he have
What
ahead.
is what is what is your dream match? Uh, if you could pick anybody, Kerry, that you could wrestle right now, okay? Anybody in pro wrestling, who would it be?
I'd have to say, Andre the
Not
Giant.
funny.
Andre, the Giant's no longer with us. I'm talking about a current wrestler.
That's the question. He
I don't
he's
know.
asked you
It's a good
Andre
answer, though.
play,
I mean,
but
but
I
like,
mean, right now he's asking you, who would you like to wrestle right now? Would it like to be uh, anybody from
I
WWE or
think maybe
anybody?
something like Justin Gabriel.
Oh, Justin Gabriel, that would be a good match. I would pay to see that. And how would you beat him?
Maybe like a some kind of frog splash technique off the top
Okay.
rope. Maybe.
Well, I'm going to make sure Justin Gabriel gets a copy of this and sees this. So maybe down the line, you never know. 10 years from now, it could be you against Justin Gabriel. Thanks for
Yes,
bringing that belt out to your dad. Show us
well,
that belt into the camera. This is the
yes, sure.
NWA
Upside down.
NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship belt.
Don't wear the belts
Yeah,
of the ring upside down before, Bill.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, it looks really good. It looks really
oh,
good.
it's beautiful, and I'm proud on it.
And for you fans who want to see the lineage of this belt, all the greats that have held the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, just Google NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, and you'll see all the greats that.
And like you just said, that you see all the greats, and understand me. When I grew up younger, I remember Nelson Roll being the
Nelson Royal, Danny Hodge.
Yes, Les Thornton.
Yes.
I had opportunity to wrestle Les Thornton for the title belt in Memphis, Tennessee at a younger age. Had a great match with him, but as the years progressed, I was young in the business and I just had opportunity to wrestle him. Uh, and Tony Charles, you had a lot of great
Yeah,
NWA.
and now you're on that list. So is this the first singles title you've had? I mean, you held so many tag team titles with Robert. Is this the first singles title you've held in like years?
Well, yes, it is one of the first major,
Yeah.
most important single titles. I wrestled. I'm on an independent circuit. It's funny because Tracy Smothers called me a couple of weeks ago. He said, Ricky Morton, I see you out there. You wrestle all the time. He says, you hold more belts than anybody I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
Yes,
I remember when you chased the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a series of great matches against Ric Flair at the Great American Bash.
yes, Bill. A lot of people ask me about that, wrestling Rick, until, they seen the cage match, which is, it's shown on TV a lot, on the wrestling channels where Flair and I ended up at the Great American Bash in Charlotte, North Carolina. But before that, after we did our matches, we did like 17-hour time limit matches, like straight row.
Oh, I know that. I was at a lot of them.
Some of them, like, were two times. I wrestled them during that period. I remember I wrestled them in Asheville, North Carolina. We went to an hour time limit. Then that night, we was in Omni in Atlanta, Georgia, and went to another hour time limit. We had a couple of 90-minute time limit matches. And then, it was great. Learned a lot from Rick. People got to understand that when you go that many matches, that long in the matches, you have a tendency of learning so much off these, especially like somebody like Ric Flair.
Yeah, of course. And every match was a learning experience.
And everybody has their own opinion, but to me, I think Ric Flair was the real best ever world tag team champion there was. Rick, my hat's off to him. He's to me, everybody can have their own opinion about him, but I treat people the way they treat me. Rick was always good to me. We had a lot of great battles, and we both respected each other.
Oh, I know that. We've got put out the word to some of the fans to ask Ricky Morton, and I took the cream of the crop here. And after we, by the way, the top challengers right now for your, want to let everybody know we're taping this on January 9th, 2014. So titles are won, titles are lost. So if you're watching this a year from now and you don't have the belt, at least we have the correct time. I know someone who probably wants a shot at the belt. Hang on a minute. Let me try and call this guy. Hold on a minute. He's on automatic dialing here.
Are you setting up the booking? My booking wheel.
Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get this guy.
All right.
This is my cell phone. I've got his own, and you have no knowledge. I'm calling this guy, so hold on a minute. Let's see. Hopefully he's home or somewhere where he'll pick the phone up. You can hear that phone ringing.
I'll get back with you. Thank you.
If you leave your name and number.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more
It's
options.
Robert Gibson. Robert Gibson, this is Bill Apter and Ricky Morton on Skype here. We're doing a TV show, the Apter Chat, and we figured we're going down the challengers for his NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, and we wanted to talk to you. So give us a call back, and we'll see if we're still on the air at that time. All right? So we don't want anybody to get his number here, but we heard his answering machine. So let's go down. I would think somewhere down the line, depending upon how long you hold this, that everybody's looking for a title. So maybe your partner, Robert Gibson.
Well, I've wrestled Robert numbers of times, even before we Rock World Express. Robert and I both kind of started in Nick Goulas days. That's where Robert at the time was wrestling with his brother Ricky Gibson.
Yes, I remember that.
You know, and I was just a young kid hanging around, and we had many matches together, and plus the little thing that went on in WCW when they made me the York Foundation and brought Robert back. But understand me, you know, I am the junior heavyweight champion,
So
and
everybody's gunning for you.
yes, and if it comes to me and Robert Gibson, well, you know, I have to defend my belt.
Yeah. Who other than Robert Gibson? Give us another 2 or 3 competitors. I assume Chase Owens.
Oh yes, Chase Owens and
who you won the title from. Yeah.
Bill on the independent circuit. You know, I don't meet a lot of the guys that are in line. Some of them I might know, and some of them I might not know.
Okay.
You know, I'm a different. You know, I do this 4 or 5 nights a week. Matter of fact, I'm on the road right now at a friend of mine.
I know. We see you're at a friend's house right now. We just happen to have Skype.
You see that? You know, I got my boy here with me, but and watch out, you'll see little kids run by.
We already did. Don't worry about it.
But no, it's cool, man. I mean, this is the life of Ricky Morton.
We love it. We're. By the way, you don't have the mullet is gone, huh?
I don't have the mullet.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I still got it. I guess that's the back. My hair is white as the wall, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
The mullet's there. I have to explain to the people who are watching this that I'm seeing Ricky on a screen probably this big with us split in half, so I won't see the entire mullet until this is finished. There goes a kid. All right, we're going to go to questions from some of the people that send in questions. The first one is from Jay Shannon, who's one of our main writers here on OneWrestling.com, and he had 2 questions for you. He said, how do you think the 1980s era Rock and Roll Express would do in today's tag team scene?
Well, okay, that's a great question. And understand me, and I thought about this so many times. You know, the wrestling business has changed so much, but to me, it changed in a good way. You know, I think Robert and I can hang. You know, it's one thing that we had an advantage over about it, that Robert and I had great chemistry together, that we could adjust to anything. And I'm going to go truthful here with you. You know, being a babyface tag team, when you come in this business, that's how you got over great. Because you know, when you have your heels, you got to adjust to the heels because they got their gimmick. They don't change it. But in today's era, you know, you got a lot of guys. Robert and I still do the high fly. Matter of fact, I think that Robert and I, well, even today, you know, we just got older. You know, it's a young guys wrestling business for the big companies. But you know, as today, Robert and I still, even though you have new wrestling fans, you still have old ones too. And we're still very active in what we do, and we still do good business. Don't get me wrong, we don't break, you know, we don't sell out great big coliseums, but we make a good living, and we still enjoy what we're doing. But it's even as today, you know, and I don't want to be somebody that I'm not. You know, we can go on TV and we can hang with the guys even today.
So if you 2 got a match against the, as of today, current WWE Tag Team Champions Goldust and Cody Rhodes, you could run with them.
We can hang with them, yes, we sure can. Yeah. So I mean, we still do this every night. You know,
I know it. You never really stopped. That's why you keep doing it.
Took off 10 years, and you try to come back, would it be no way? Yeah. But we're still very active in this business. We still stay in shape. We still work out. We still tell the stories in the ring. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it probably wouldn't be the barn burner of the night, but we would have a great, wonderful match.
Okay. All right. Let's go to another question here, because Jay's second question you had already answered. Darla Taylor Staggs. She says, I'd like to ask Ricky what his thoughts are on Eddie Gilbert back in the day when they worked together. I'd also like to know what capacity he thinks Eddie would have been involved in the wrestling world if he was still alive today. Great question.
Yes, and gosh, that was really giving me cold chills because at home, you know, they're working on my place and redoing it, and I'm going through, I had to put stuff up and go things, and somebody's phone's ringing here.
That's all right. Keep going.
But they, I don't know. So would you come and get this?
It'll stop. It will stop. It will
And,
stop.
and I found pictures of me and Eddie in Oklahoma, and Eddie and I in Memphis, Tennessee, and it just brought back so many memories. And Eddie was not only Eddie was a good person, but what a great wrestler. Eddie had a mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Eddie had a great mind for this business. I don't know if anybody knows that he, he was the booker out in Kansas City,
Yes.
and then he worked in the office for WCW and
Yeah.
and all them. Then he went up for Vince and them, and if Eddie was still alive today, Eddie would probably have a big office job for WWE.
That's exactly what I thought. A big office job or a trainer. One of the main
Yes.
trainers. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's get to the next question. This guy didn't leave his name. His EJ says, who would you consider to be the greatest tag team from the Jim Crockett era? So obviously it's got to be other than the Rock and Roll Express. Because we know you're going to say the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah. Well, we'll understand it. EJ, how do you spell that? Is that a hard one? No, I just
We'll look it up. We'll look it up.
Uh, wow, and understand me, like you just said, the greatest tag team, but gosh, you had so many of them. You had the Midnight Express, you had the Four Horsemen, Ole and Arn, Tully and Arn.
How about
The Road Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got to see it. They would be the toughest ones of all of them. But, it was an era where Robert and I had a great run here. To us, I thought that we were one of the top tag teams.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want to answer this question. They were all great, and we were all equal to me, Bill.
Okay. All right. That's a great answer. That's a great... let me see here. Where are Andre Corbell, who is a wrestling reporter, journalist. He said, now, I don't know what's behind this. So if you can answer this, it's okay. He says, I would really enjoy if you ask Ricky to tell us about a funny night out on the town with he and Manny Fernandez. I would be on the edge of my seat in anticipation. Did you have unusual nights out with Manny Fernandez, who we had on the Apter Chat just a week ago?
Well, Bill, you caught me off guard here. Now I'm thinking back because understand I went out every night.
Yeah, we all did.
Sorry, I had a lot of great times on Manny, but to really speak out, I don't know. Bill, you caught me off guard there.
Okay, all right. Well, Andre, that's your answer. There was nothing special. They just went out, had a couple of beers, and back to the room, and
we were
drive
back
to the next town.
Things were different then.
All right. Derek Vanderford. I love that name. He said, if John Cena were to walk up to you today and say, Mr. Morton, I'm over as a top babyface, good guy. I always say good guy and bad guy. But what things can I do to work on to be better? How can I get to an even higher level? First of all, I don't think John Cena could get to a higher level at this point. But let's give you, what would you tell John Cena if you were face to face and John Cena said to you, hey, what do you think of what I do?
Well, Bill, that's great. I was just at a WWE show. And matter of fact, when I walked in the back door, I was sitting there, and John Cena came up and he said, Mr. Morton, how you doing?
Wow.
But he didn't ask me that question. And understand me, let me tell you now, I am a professional wrestler, and I'm a big fan of WWE. I watch the shows a lot, and understand me being an old wrestler, there's always a little bit of criticism with everybody. Oh, if you did this or you did that, but see, that's not my job.
Yeah.
I got to say to you, John Cena is one of the most over guys I've ever seen.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to him walking out on the microphone, there's nothing that you could tell this man. He is phenomenal. He is great, and that's something that that you just don't learn. You got to have that ability, a natural born thing with him. And And every time he does his interviews, I love him because he's always, he's got that quick snap back in case somebody says something. But the one thing that I would say to be a great babyface, and this is my opinion, and I have been asked this before, and I look at some of the guys and I watch some of their matches. If you think you're selling too long, sell longer. And if you think you're going too slow, slow it down. That's my advice, because other than that, John Cena's over with me. He does a great job,
Now, the next question kind of has something to do with you, and I'm sure John is flattered by hearing that. The next question comes from W. Schuyler, and this is like you said, you were just giving advice. He says, "Dear Ricky Morton, any plans to open a wrestling school and or managing a rookie to the top?" He says, "My son is 12 and is looking to go into pro wrestling, and I told him, damn, Bubba, Ricky Morton's the best. If he says you got it, you got it. Thanks, Bill, and thank you and Ricky for all the memories from back then." And he adds a P.S. He said he was originally going to ask that question to Kevin Nash, but Nash tore his quad answering the phone.
Hey, tore his quad answering the phone. Oh, I didn't know nothing about that. Yeah, we all have a wrestling school. I am opening up. It's called School Morton, and it'll be coming soon. It's a lot of hard work. Just finding a great location. And finding something that's reasonable and affordable. I'm just telling the truth. I've been looking around for buildings and everything, and we just found one that's in the budget because it's like any business you got to do. You got to keep your overhead down.
Of course.
And I think it'd be a good thing. Not only is to train, especially learning and look at me back in my days. It's not only teaching professional wrestlers, but teaching these kids how to make good decisions. It's being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It costs you your whole life, your whole career. Fortunately, learning from my mistakes to teach other people how to make good decisions.
Somebody comes to you and they say to you, if you had one piece of wisdom to impart about this business in general, because I want to go and make a career, I want to follow that path and be successful, what would you say?
Is to keep your mouth shut and listen. Understand me, when you get into our wrestling business, especially now, how big it is, that's you got to understand how to learn how to do what you're told. Learning how to, a lot of guys, I meet on the road, a lot of them, Bill, just to get back to learn the history of professional wrestling. A lot of them don't, I can ask some guys, some of the greatest wrestlers in the world, and they don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They just think, it's the history of professional wrestling. Understand what our business is about, and understand what what it's going to. It's one of the greatest businesses in the world. And if anybody out there has as much love for this business as I do, you can understand what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard getting this question answer out.
No,
Just listen. You got a lot of things you got to do. Sometimes you got to eat crow, and but let me tell you, a lot of times I wish I would have ate crow, and the decisions might have came out a lot better.
Okay, all right, Ricky Morton, where can fans get in touch with you? Are you on social media?
Well, Bill, that's a big question. I'm here at my friend's house because you asked me.
Okay.
I'm coming on the show with the camera. Bill, I'm not.
But you will be having a website, I assume, once the school opens up. So we
Yes,
can keep in touch.
They're at home. I should have brought a flyer with me, but you can look it up, School of Morton. It's out there on the internet. I can't tell you what it's about.
That's fine.
But
we will look at School of Morton.
School of Morton.
Okay. All right. We will find it.
S-O-M.
We want to thank you so very much for being here on the Apter Chat and answering the fans' questions. And let's see that belt again. You have that handy?
Yeah, here we go. And hey, are we in an interview? Because I wanted to talk a lot more. I wanted to, I heard that WWE is coming out with their new channel.
Yeah, they have. Actually, they announced it last night. The WWE, they're way over the top. They're the WWE Network. And how incredible, because you were on their TV quite a bit too, and you can go back now and look at what you did. You can see the Stars of the Future on NXT. You can see the Monday Night Wars. You can go back and watch all the shows, WrestleMania Rewind. Amazing.
That's great. I told you earlier, I'm a big fan of WWE. And what amazing what
But
these
they
guys.
have everything. They've got the tapes from almost everywhere. They've got the
Yes.
old NWA and WCW tapes, all that stuff. So
And understand, it amazes me how big WWE is and how great it is for our business. I enjoy their show. I love watching it. I love what they come up with because they know how to use every person, their personnel, and do it in the right way. It's a great thing. But to say like you just said earlier, to get these pay-per-views on this channel, to watch some of the old wrestling and learn the history of professional wrestling, I think it's a great deal. And whoever's, and the guys that running that, they do such a great job.
well, we never realized back in the days when we were riding in the cars together, we always talked about, hey, this promotion's got good TV and this promotion's got good TV, but we never ever thought that it would have this global universal expansion.
I know, Bill, and it's so good, but it's when you walk around and you see everybody. You can be anywhere you be, you see somebody with a WWE wrestling shirt on.
Yeah.
It's grown so much. But like to say, I got the NWA title, and one thing that I want to get across too, and I do a lot of independent promotions, and one reason I really love holding the junior heavyweight NWA junior heavyweight titles is because I'm from an era of NWA. I want to wrestle a lot of independent promotions, but to make them understand that they have like their own champions, but to be a part of the National Wrestling Alliance, that's what I want to get from the independent promotion, Bill, so you can bring in champions, instead of being just a local champion.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity, because you never know who the next star might be. I mean, a lot of great wrestlers out on the independent circuit never had a chance, but if their organization was affiliated with NWA, understand that they would bring the champions in to wrestle their guys, and you never know, one of their guys might become the junior heavyweight champion or the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Just to get NWA back out again like it used to be.
Yeah. Well, it's great, and we want to urge all you fans that no matter, where you are in the world, there's pro wrestling or sports entertainment somewhere nearby every night of the week. So Google it, go see an independent show.
Fans, what fans still coming? I wouldn't be here, Bill.
Yeah, and they still love you, and Robert, you guys still keep rock and roll, and Ricky Morton, thank you so very much. And we always end these segments with you point to that camera.
Yes,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see you.
I'll see you, but we're going to end this. You got to do Jerry Lewis for me.
You want my Jerry Lewis imitation? I don't have my glasses. All right, wait a minute.
Bill.
Actually, we will see you at the matches. What is your mind?